I'm John.
I'm Afonso.
I'm Darren.
And welcome to the Scat Cast. We don't know either. Now, I think it's about time we address the blocky elephant in the room. The Minecraft movie trailer finally dropped. After months of leaks, we talked about this on like episode 4 of the fucking
Reddit
podcast.
Posts on that shit.
Yeah. And finally it dropped and it looks amazing. It looks great.
Amazingly terrible.
Exactly.
Why do the mobs have teeth?
Why the fuck did they show that llama?
It looks
for
so
long?
bad.
I don't know. It's so funny. I don't know.
I would have preferred the Jason Momoa golem to the actual shit I saw.
It looks like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
It does.
Like it looks.
No, it's one of those memes when you were a kid. It's like, this will be Minecraft in 2015.
Yeah, it literally looks like some shit that it looks like a higher budget Smosh skit. Like it does not look like a real fucking movie. I'm happy with how ugly it looks. I'm very happy.
I wouldn't even be that like turned off by the art style, honestly, if there weren't like IRL people just in there.
That's what kind
Like
of threw
it
me
is
off.
so badly green screened.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do like a CG animated movie in that art style, it's like fine. I can believe that's Minecraft. That looks like okay. It's like
But now you're
some
mixing
dude's
two
fucking
things.
no, but yeah, you put people in there behind the fucking green screen. It looks it looks worse than Quantum Mania.
And that's saying something.
It looks so bad. I thought Quantum Mania was like the low, but
I thought Love and Thunder was low.
Quantum Mania is lower.
I thought Love and
It
Thunder
is,
had better
yes.
effects than Quantum Mania.
Quantum Mania
I
is
haven't seen Quantum Mania, so
it's pretty bad.
that's what Kang, right?
Yeah. It's definitely pretty bad.
and MODOK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like imagine if they had Steve in that art style though. That shit would not look good. Imagine him with those teeth.
Ew, why would you even bring that up? Why
It's
did
just-
why did they give them
imagine
teeth?
that Steve picking up like a fucking carrot or a fucking piece of bread and eating it. Exactly. You know they fucking do that. I hope they do some shit like that with fucking Steve or or Jason Momoa.
I'm so mad that Jason Momoa is not Steve.
He looks more like Steve than Jack Black does.
Remember those like pictures I put in the group chat earlier? Like that is so cool. I would be okay with everything if they like Jason Momoa was Steve and he was just like a fucking jacked like dude in a blue t-shirt with like his fucking swords and
It's
his
like, hey,
like,
you guys
battle
lost?
scars and shit.
Follow me.
Well, I mean, like
Hey, I am Steve, and then Jack Black's over here like I am Steve.
he doesn't even look like. Why is Steve old?
It's just Jack Black in a t-shirt. They didn't do
You
anything.
know they sat in the writers' room like,
He
okay.
looks nothing like Steve. They didn't give him like like the new mustache or whatever the fuck they have on Steve now.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Steve is brown.
Yeah.
Steve's a tan guy. He's not fair skinned.
Yeah.
They race swapped him.
They done
That's fucked
massacred
up.
my boy.
He's the protagonist of the highest selling game of all time, and they couldn't get his race right.
I don't think they
Damn.
cared enough.
They had Jason Momoa.
I don't think they cared
Jason
enough.
Momoa looks like Steve. As fucking funny as that is to say,
I don't think he looks
Steve.
like Steve, but I could believe that's Steve. Like
Yeah.
you know how like you have the fucking game theory video where Matt Pat does the calculations of how like strong Steve is. He's fucking carrying like boulders and shit just in his pocket. That could be Jason Momoa.
Jason
Like,
Momoa looks like the old like fan art of Herobrine back in the day. Like
Oh,
he
oh,
dead
Yeah,
ass
it looks
does.
like a fucking
Oh,
edgy
yeah.
deviant art shit.
Yeah, exactly. If you gave him the white eyes, he would dead ass look like the old fan art of Herobrine back in the day.
No, you're right. Everything about that movie triggered my flight or fight response, and I didn't even want to do it. I just laid down and
I
died.
didn't know the Uncanny Valley could apply to animals until I saw that sheep.
Nothing about that movie made me happy. It what does that one lady say? This sparks joy. This does not spark joy.
I am so excited to see it because I know that movie's going to be terrible.
It's gonna be a
and
big
I am going to
stinker.
laugh my ass off. I'm going to be so happy.
I'm just waiting to see what the villagers look like, if there are villagers.
Ooh,
They're
probably gonna look
probably-
like
I
the
really
llama.
hope there are villagers.
They're probably gonna look like CGI
But why would you do that if Steve is a normal dude?
because they're weird. Why give them teeth?
Because they need to eat somehow.
They can eat without the teeth.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's not an issue.
How are you going to chew food?
I mean, not like logistically, but I mean, like when
You're
you
in a
animate it,
video
just don't
game
give them
world,
teeth.
yeah,
It's like a cartoon. You don't have to animate teeth on them. Just have them eat the carrot without teeth.
No. They had to give them hair too.
That's cool.
you
I don't,
notice-
I don't mind the hairy textures.
Yeah.
I like the creeper and all that. I think it looks cool. I think it's really fitting how it's like grassy.
Yeah.
You know, it like blends in with like the terrain and all that.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
the fucking why do the things need teeth? Like the piglins, that makes sense. They're pigs. Like that's like a characteristic of them.
Yeah.
But like, why? And if you're gonna give them teeth, why is it like realistic teeth where they have like grooves in between them? You couldn't have made it like cartoony where it's just like the You know what I mean?
Some SoCal art student who was just like, you know what, guys, we need to take this movie seriously, and this was their idea of serious.
I do not think it was an art student. I think it was some fucking like
I'm-
70-year-old executive
I'm
sitting in an
saying
office.
SoCal art students to say like whoever was in like the creative room, they definitely like we need to take ourselves seriously the way like a college student who just got their first job would be like super on edge. But whoever it is obviously dropped the fucking ball. But I don't know. This isn't as bad as the Sonic situation, but it's still.
I would say it's
epic.
worse.
I think it's worse because it's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because the Sonic movie, it takes place in the real world, but you have like little CG hedgehog dude.
I guess.
Like and that's a pretty easy thing. That seemed like it was a pretty easy thing for them to fix.
It
I still
pretty
think.
fast, yeah.
I personally subscribe to the theory that they did that on purpose because like that they fixed that shit.
There's
so
no way
fast.
they did.
They fixed that shit so fast.
Low key, I really think this is the same thing with the Minecraft movie. Some exec was like, yeah, give him like make him look like a rodent. He's
They would
a
have to
fucking rat.
change the entire movie then, because like I said, it's not
What
like
if they
Sonic.
added him? What if they added him last?
It's not like Sonic where they just change like the character model for like little CG dude they put in.
Oh, you
they,
talking
have
for
to
Minecraft? Or
yeah, for Minecraft they have to change the entire movie if they were to like do a
they're
Sonic.
not. They're not. They're not going to do that. They're sold on this.
The movie comes out in like 6 months.
February, yeah.
I think it's April. But there's no way they're going to be able to fix all that before then.
No, but
They have to make a new movie.
were there likes and dislikes on the video? Actually,
They don't have dislikes on YouTube anymore.
pussies.
Not on the phone. You can do it on your computer. and
Actually, the
stuff.
browser one's not even that accurate either because you can only see people who dislike it with the same extension.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so it doesn't account for total dislikes.
So why are they hiding?
So
dislikes?
like you don't just I don't know why YouTube doesn't have dislikes.
That was a really dumb thing. I know you said that it triggered like an uncanny valley effect or whatever. I saw this video. This is kind of off topic. I saw this video the other day of a horsing a donkey for the first time.
And was terrified.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
was
didn't know what the fuck it
terrified.
was looking at. Yeah.
Oh my god, that is actually imagine like looking at like a person, but it's not a person. It's like
Exactly.
You're not me.
The horse
that-
probably just thought it was a disabled horse.
No, was it like spooked?
No, it was like freaking the fuck out. Like it did not know what was
that
going
shit
on.
was like some kind of like homunculus or something. Like what the fuck?
Well,
It's like if you saw an alternate from a Mandela catalog.
Yeah.
Like, you know the theory about like that's why we have the uncanny valley and everything?
It is why we have the Uncanny Valley.
Wait,
Yeah,
we-
what
because
is?
we existed at the same time as other human species, like Homo erectus and shit like that. We have the uncanny valley, so that like it triggers a fight or flight response in our brain. We see a member from a different species because they look similar to us.
but not us.
Yeah, it's basically like back in like prehistoric times. There quite literally were people that were in that uncanny valley effect that existed in the real world. That's why it fucking like fucks with our brain like that.
Damn, that's whack as fuck.
I kind of wish there were still other like human species.
I don't.
That'd be like what do you call it? Middle Earth.
Yeah,
You have fucking elves and dwarves and shit. We're all just racist towards each other.
yeah,
hella racist.
yeah. Why not? I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, why not? Bring on the race war.
I'm not saying
win.
all that, but like I don't know. I just think it'd be neat having like other people walk. Honestly like the biggest thing I like about like the fantasy shit, like the sci-fi shit and everything, is just having like different types of people walking around, like fucking creatures and homunculi, like goblins and shit walking around like right next to normal people. I think that's neat. I wish the world was like that.
Your perspective on life is so.
I am anxiously awaiting the day that apes evolve to the point where we have them on the same tier as humans, or walking around like people, to the point where dogs and cats evolve and they're walking around like people too.
I would not trust a dog like person
Well, I mean, why?
because they have those dog instincts. They're gonna fucking steal
got
your
that
trash
dog
and
in
The
them.
shit.
dog in them. What's wrong
They
with
got
that?
the dog in them, but bro. That's literally
They're
like.
loyal, bro. They'll be your best friend. What do you mean?
Yeah, then you turn their back and they just steal your food.
Yeah.
they're gonna take shit out your fridge.
'Cause now
Like,
they
Why are
can,
you
like-
worried about the dog and not the cat? The cat will fucking kill you and eat
The
you.
cat doesn't need you. It'll probably just be like an actual room and be like, hey, did you have your.
I probably would hate the cats more than the dog people, but like still, it doesn't mean I trust.
You're like
dog
walking
people.
around fucking like just being racist to random dog and cat people.
You don't belong here.
Yeah.
Go back with your kind.
Would we have slurs for dog and cat people?
You furry. Oh my god. Furries would
Actually,
actually
yeah.
lose their shit.
Would furry be
Dude,
a
furries would like be in heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, they would lose their shit in a good way, but like they
Yeah.
would lose their shit.
They would.
What's that like cat everyone wanted to fuck from like Animal Crossing?
You
Well, it doesn't
Egyptian
matter.
one?
Yeah, but that they would
Oh,
definitely.
they're talking about the
try-
dude. What?
Huh?
What?
What dude?
He's talking about the Egyptian one.
That's what I was
they're
talking
talking
about.
about the guy with the glasses.
They want to fuck him?
Yeah, like the guys had the Egyptian cat and the girls had the cat with the glasses.
The guys wanted to fuck the dude with glasses.
the girl-
No, I literally just said the exact opposite of what just came out of your mouth. What do you mean? I tried to make it as clear as possible.
I don't know. I was still over like. If I'm thinking about the guy with glasses, I was still just like I was still in shock. Why him?
Speaking of cats,
Why does that blow your? I'm sorry. Why does that blow your mind, but not the guys wanting to fuck the Egyptian? Why is there like a gender standard here where it's okay for the guys to want to fuck the Animal Crossing character, but not the girls? Let them want to fuck the. It's no different.
I've seen I didn't see porn of this guy with glasses. I've seen too much cat porn. I understand.
Why are you looking for this?
I'm not looking for it. It found me.
How the fuck does it just find you? That's the
like
most.
your For You page or something.
No. Wait, I'm saying all that. I'm just
No,
saying.
that shit was for him for sure, bro. I'm telling you. Sorry, Darren. What were you saying? I didn't mean to rudely cut you off.
Monkeys and cats. I was listening to another podcast today, and they were talking about this monkey that the zookeepers gave it a cat as a little therapy animal, and like the monkey like really bonded with this cat. I forgot the monkey's name. I'm sorry, monkey, but I forgot the cat's name too. I'm sorry, but anyway, the cat died. And then the monkey was like depressed for like 3 months. Like they taught these chimps how to like signal. They taught these motherfuckers how to signal. And for 3 months straight, he would just signal like I'm sad, over and over. Just I'm sad. Like, oh, do you want to eat? No, I'm sad.
Monkey depression.
After 3 months, did he get over it?
Probably.
Okay. Eventually, it's just like, damn. Eventually,
hungry.
it does all get better.
But that's really fucking. You know, another thing with monkeys is they actually certain monkey species. I forget where it is, but there is evidence of monkeys having a religion. There's like a sacred tree that they like do like they
bury stuff. Yeah,
they bury their dead and they show reverence to it. I forget because I was listening to like another YouTube video about like Christianity and atheism. The guy was like, well, here's this group of monkeys that somehow have enough. You know, elephants have elephant gray hair, so elephants obviously have some like. But it was with monkeys. So like, if we're looking for like a common answer as to why humans feel the same way about like, because he basically said most religions started out as animalistic, animistic, I think it's called.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we actually have an animal doing the thing that we most likely started doing in our first.
I mean, that's just them like adopting more complex thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means they're evolving.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna get your monkey soon, John. BoJack Horseman and all that. That's a good ass show too. And I love that he was a pessimist. Like, he was actually my favorite pessimist ever.
I mean, I guess you just relate. I don't know.
I related to the fact that he always wanted to get better, but he couldn't change his view, and that's what held him back.
It is not what held him back. He's just a bad person.
Well, I mean, he obviously wasn't a good person, but he didn't. It was more of like he didn't want to be bad. You know, it was like he did bad things, but he didn't want to be there. Like,
I mean, I don't think anyone wants to be.
That's
a bad
the
person.
point. But like, it was like this feedback loop of like he only thought bad things, he only did bad things. But part of him always like that child in him always screamed out for like more, like something better than that. And I like that. I really fucked it because like even when you look at his like relationships, like his family, his friends, like his mom fucked him over, his dad was just a piece of shit.
Did you ever watch BoJack Horseman? Darren?
No.
Yeah.
Love that. That is
So
like
he's just like a man who can't change.
it's a horseman that can't change, but he ends up changing.
I know he's a horse. I was just saying.
It's actually a really good show. I think
I
you'd
know
like it
like
a
the
lot.
themes and all that.
Basically, everything after season 1 is all like it completely changes after that point.
Yeah, it was very like almost like
That show is like a really big like following online. People love like stand by that show.
It is like you.
Like-
I
like
promise you'd like.
I've
it a
heard it's
lot.
like one of those shows that's like made for adults and like adults love it.
Yeah.
It's not like Family Guy where it's like made for adults and a bunch of fucking 12-year-olds.
no,
watch it.
it's an adult show and it takes you as seriously as you take it the entire time. And honestly, I still think my favorite episode is probably the suicide episode. But other than that, I think the Sarah Lynn episode, the second one, is my favorite. Like those two, like they're everyone's favorite. But the reason why I think they're my favorite, you don't have to know the show for these, is because both of those episodes deal with making changes and choices that you can't come back from. And for the Sarah Lynn episode, it was just like escapism, like this idea that like you're broken and you can never truly be fixed. So instead of fixing yourself, you find things that
it just dealt with like using drugs as a coping mechanism.
You-
And then,
you-
like,
you run
drugs
away.
and sex and stuff like that. Yeah.
instead of like really like looking back at like why am I so broken, you just find other things to break you even further so you don't feel it anymore. And then with the suicide episode, it was more of just like do we ever talk about the suicide on the podcast? I feel like we had a conversation about it, but I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast. No. But basically it's like as you die, everything becomes slow and more real in that sense. Real. Oh, I was talking about Linkin Park. That's what it was. But yeah, basically, because Chester.
Yeah.
But basically, it deals with that because the person who committed suicide in the show, they wrote like a letter, and they had like a monologue, and basically, once they hit the like, I don't know what like terminal velocity is when you jump off a bridge, but like once he kind of hit that point, all the regret started to come, but he couldn't stop it once he set it in motion. And it was this idea of just like, had he done this differently, had he changed how he thought, had he changed his perspective, had he just looked at something a little bit differently, would he have still been there? Now, I could be like bastardizing the episode, but I do get the vibe from like...
Yeah, that was like just one section of the episode. It was a character who wrote like a poem about suicide and everything.
He was the main character's idol.
Yeah.
So like it hurt him the most when it happened. Because he was like, when he met him, because they were both in like show business, he was like, hey, you're like my hero, your inspiration. And his hero was just like, yeah, get in line, kid. Go fuck yourself. That was kind of like the vibe he had. And then finding out that that person that you admired killed themselves, and then you met other people in your life who looked up to you, you only remember how your hero treated you. And that's kind of that was part of like how BoJack carried himself. Like he never addressed his trauma. And so part of him was still that young, like bright person, but now he just has like loads of baggage and shit that just he doesn't want to change. Like he consciously wants to change, but subconsciously he's always stopping himself. Like the entire time. Like the entire show. This motherfucker self-sabotages like you'll never see. And the entire time you just spend like, I think it's like 5 seasons, right?
Yeah, it's like
real
I
thing.
spent
So
5
many
seasons
people do.
wanting to see this motherfucker succeed. And when he finally succeeds, like honestly, even the ending of the story, like the show, even where he got what he got, I was still like, this felt deserved in a good way. Like he's working on himself in a way that like felt good to his character. It felt like he finally stood for something instead of letting life pass him by or running away. Yeah.
I remember watching through that show for the first time. It actually like blew my mind.
I did. I was on every season.
Yeah. I don't know. It really does just kind of like exemplify, I don't know, like, I guess growth and like wanting to grow and change.
Yeah, because even
when
every
you can't.
character wanted something out of life.
Yeah.
From like Tom to Diane to fucking Mr. Peanut Butter. Everyone wanted, even like everyone had something they were yearning for.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people like, I guess they like undermine the stuff people actually do go through on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it's really like, I mean, people say like, oh, you don't know what people are going through, but like, I mean, you don't. So, I mean, I guess it's hard to remember to like be understanding of people and shit like that.
Especially when you have your own problems. I feel like that's like, I want to give some grace because especially when you have your own shit, it's really hard to care about someone else's problems. Which is like, you know, it hurts, but it's true. If you feel like you're drowning, how the fuck are you going to save someone else?
Yeah.
And a lot of people right now are drowning. And it's really hard to throw out a life raft when you need one for yourself.
It's got very heavy.
No, but that just deals with like perspective. Because like how you said, like I don't think I'm a pessimist. I think I'm a realist. Like I love seeing joy and good things happen, but I'm fully aware that like the worst can always happen, and I take both in stride and I just move with that.
I mean, you can be an optimist and still like not.
I just rather
unnecessarily.
I don't know. I just feel like
I'd say I'm an optimist.
I say you're an optimist. I just feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I'm not optimistic. I'm just like. I don't say I expect the worst. I plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's how I just move through life. I'm always ready for shit to hit the fan. I'm looking for things that would show me shit's hitting the fan. And if shit doesn't hit the fan, then I'm like, okay, scrap that plan, keep moving. And that's it.
Oh, no, I'm very much like I set goals for things, and then I know I'm going to accomplish those goals. I just don't know how I'm going to get there. Mm-hmm. So I always just tell myself, like, yeah, I'm going to get there. I just don't know how I'm going to get there yet. So, I mean, that's how I always do it. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do things like completely fall apart in a way that you can't bounce back from.
I believe that.
So, I mean, there's no point in ever being like, I don't know, beating yourself up over something or being like super pessimistic about something when, I mean, you know it's going to be okay anyways. I mean, obviously, for some people it's different, but
I don't want to say I'm a realist because it seems kind of like fence sitting, you know?
Yeah.
But like, that's just how I am. Like, I do like think about like evidence and like the logic behind things.
Yeah.
And then I make like predictions based off of it. Like, I'm not looking for a negative side and everything. I'm not looking for a positive side. I take what I'm given and I predict like an outcome from it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's like what a realist is. But that, like I feel like, you know, the way you were describing it.
I probably wasn't describing it well, but I do what you do.
Yeah, but like I feel like with some people they just say, "Oh, I'm just a realist." Like they're kind of fence sitting.
And what
they
way?
don't,
Actually, I was
like they don't want to admit they're a pessimist. Kind of.
Yeah,
I
Like
see.
it's like, oh, I mean, I'm not saying I like look on the negative side behind everything. I mean, like that's just what stuff says. I mean, like I look at this and it's negative. So
You say I joked earlier before the
it's just
podcast.
like people who are pessimists coming up with reasons as to why they think pessimistically.
Yeah,
You know,
they're trying to justify it instead of just like,
Yeah.
owning up to it.
and that's where it's like fence sitting to me.
I see.
But I mean, if I were to like pick between the two, I would definitely say more of an optimist. I mean, I have like bad days and everything.
Yeah,
Everyone does. Yeah.
I do like expect the best out of things because I mean that's just like I don't know, being hopeful.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't know. I mean, like, do you always assume it's going to work out?
Or do you usually assume it won't, and you come up for reasons why?
Wait, and what is always going to work? Like you have to be very specific.
Like, do you assume that everything will eventually always have a positive outcome?
So if I broke my leg and I'm like in a ditch, I'm going to assume everything's going to work out. Or
Yes.
what are they thinking?
Yeah.
Like I'll survive this.
I'll probably
Or
be
do you
thinking of
think you're
ways
fucked?
to survive it. I mean, I'll probably be feeling. I mean, emotionally, I'm like I'm fucked. But like in my head, I'm like, okay, what can I do to unfuck myself? So I don't know what you would call that.
I mean, no, that's
The survival instinct. I don't know.
realism. That's what that is. That's
Yeah.
realism. Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel awful. I'm like, that's why I guess I'm coming more of like, yeah, my emotions may be negative, but I'm
Everybody
always
would feel awful.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I would feel pretty shitty, but I'm still looking for like something to do. I'm not just gonna say like, well, I'm just gonna lie down here and die. I don't.
And
do
that applies to most people though. Like, that's not like that's
weird.
not contributing
what I'm-
anything to this
I don't
conversation.
want to say it's like a fencing thing. That's just more like realism. I just take what's given to me and I go with it.
But everybody does that.
Yeah. But I'm not negatively just sitting there saying everything's awful and I'm not gonna do anything.
I didn't say people did that.
I'm
Yeah, I
just,
don't think that's what pessimists do either.
No,
But
I'm
like,
just-
no, everybody would be in a fucking ditch with their leg broken and try and get out, try and claw themselves out.
not everyone.
Maybe like that 1% out of 100.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I'm saying like it's the sense of like, I don't know. I just try things and I don't really know if they're gonna work or not. I just do them. I just go for it.
I mean, that's what you should do.
Yeah, that's
You always
it.
trial
I
and
don't
error.
like, good or bad. I'm just like, well, fuck
Yeah,
it.
but
I
I
have to do
don't
something.
think that like contributes anything to like being a pessimist or optimist. I think that's just what people
that's
do.
what I'm saying. Realist. I feel like that's somewhere in between.
Let's say you woke
But that
up
doesn't make you a realist just because you clawed yourself out of a ditch.
Well, that was just one example. That's just my perspective on life in general. I feel like I'm a
Let's say you
realist.
woke up one morning and all of the money in your bank account was gone.
That's happened a couple of times, but yeah, keep going.
Jeez.
All of the money in your bank account was gone. You get into an accident and you're in the hospital.
Oh, I'm in the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
You
probably
have
not
no
gonna worry
money.
about shit.
What you say?
I'm in the hospital. Someone hit me.
You stubbed your toe really hard and broke your foot.
Bruh.
You had like the most embarrassing accident of all time, but you're literally stuck in the hospital.
Okay.
And they're like, they come up to you with the bill. That shit's $5,000. You don't got no money.
Well, it looks like I'm be on OnlyFans or something, bro. I will hustle.
So that's it. You're not gonna be, you're not gonna like worry about it or anything.
I'm gonna be like,
okay.
shit. I have to come with $5,000 before they take my kidney as like forfeit.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I'll be thinking. I'm not gonna be thinking like, oh my god, my day. I mean, my day would be ruined, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. I'm like, I probably have more worse things like this bill.
Yeah.
And that's just how I'll just see it as that. Like, I don't know. Even with, like, I took like my finger thing. That's probably like the best example. I didn't know if I cut off bone or not. I was just like, well, there's fingers in a jar, like in a big pan of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Throw that out.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just gonna have to deal with whatever happens next. So I made a tourniquet and I called my mom.
I have, okay, this is kind of a little off topic. When
Okay. Oh, actually, can I?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I actually started with what a realist is by definition. So it is literally like the person who just says fuck it, we ball. A person who accepts the situation as it is and prepared to deal with it and is prepared to deal with it accordingly. I'm a realist with no time for your world of make believe. They are the fuck it, we ball people.
So everybody's a realist.
And some, yeah, but I guess you can be high. Like it's like a spectrum. Most people fall in within realist, but some people really, when they're low, they have the really low lows to where they want to keep bringing up the lows. And some people just
So then
like,
they're a pessimist.
yeah. And then some people, even when they have like,
So they are fence sitters.
no, realists are just regular people. It's just people who don't hop to either extreme.
Yeah. So if you say, "Oh, I'm just a realist," you're fence sitting. You're not giving an answer because you're saying it's a spectrum.
I mean, if it's a
Because
spectrum,
you can be a realist who's also a pessimist. From your own definition, you said it's a spectrum, so you can be.
I mean,
realist
I'm
who's also
saying
a
it's
pessimist.
but I don't really know how they would define it. That's me, so I can't. I'm not Oxford, so I don't know. Actually, we can figure this out though, because I'm more curious about this. But you can still go through while I'm looking this up. If you,
Oh, what I was gonna say is like, let's say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to talk to a girl, and you don't know shit about her or nothing. You just think she's cute or whatever the fuck. How are you gonna approach everything? What goes through your mind before you do it? Or do you have a more pessimistic outlook on that or a more optimistic outlook on that?
So usually does your brain go like, oh, there are so many ways I can fuck this up? Or do you go in there like, fuck, I'm gonna kill this shit?
Or you're the type of guy who's like, oh, there's no point. She's not going to say yes anyway. Like that type of thing.
That just falls under like the pessimistic.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like there's like
Yeah.
different like mindsets with that. I think that right there is a better example of like trying to figure out where his
falling in a fucking hole with your leg broken.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so too.
So I'm interested in the girl and I want to talk to her.
Yep.
I'll just talk to her and see what happens.
But like, what's going on in your head?
Yeah. What do you think before then?
How bad I want her. Like how bad I want her. Like how bad I want to talk to this person. That's literally I'm like.
But like, are you going in there with confidence, or are you going in there with like, I can't fuck this up?
I'm going in with I have no idea what I'm about to say to her, but I'm gonna have to say something.
So you just go in there and you like.
I wing it. I've every time I've ever like had like a relationship with a
that's
girl.
confidence.
That's
it
just,
is.
I just say fuck it. Like if I really like every single time now I think about it, I've had no idea what I was gonna say to that girl, but somehow it just worked out.
That's good.
But like that's not me. I mean I'm scared. Of course I'm nervous. Like oh shit, it's a girl.
I mean,
I like.
yeah.
But like if you're saying if I'm willingly doing this, oh I'm doing it. That's it.
Would you willingly do it?
If
Like-
you just said I was willing to do it, so I am.
Well,
willing
no.
to do it.
I mean, like, this is someone you want to talk to. You haven't even decided if you're willing to do it yet or not.
So if we're at XYZ mall and there's a really cute girl at the fucking coffee shop or something,
Yes.
and it's like I can't spend my rest of my life not trying to at least talk to her. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I would.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
That sounds to me like you're more optimistic then, if that's the case.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know if the AI thing is accurate or not, but it's realists and pessimists are related but different in their outlook of the world. So there is similar, but I mean it does because I guess even if it's
Yeah,
not
a realist like takes what's given to them, thinks about it, and then they make up reasons for why they should think pessimistically. That's a like pessimist realist.
realists
Like you can't.
are people who focus on what's practical and realistic in a situation. They may have a more negative view of the world, but they generally believe that things can work out in their favor. Realists are often good at recognizing their positive and negative traits. They may also be more likely to take measured risks. I mean, yeah, that sounds like me. Here's what a pessimist is.
like a lot of people.
Then that's what a pessimist is. Pessimists are people who tend to see the negative side of things and believe that bad things are more likely to happen. They may have a negative attitude and look down on themselves. Pessimism is a personality trait, not a mental illness.
Damn.
So
I
what's
think you
the
must be saying a
difference?
mental illness.
It's more of the realist. What really sticks out in the realist is they're often recognizing their positive and negative traits. So they're seeing both sides of it. And a pessimist strictly just says, okay, if 70% of this shit is bad, then it doesn't even matter about the 30% that could happen.
Doesn't everybody like weigh their options though?
Is that not the same thing as being a realist though?
That's just this is all I'm given. So
That's what I'm saying. So you're just a pessimist then.
No, because they're different. It's
not
just
different.
They're related but different. You can be similar but different. Like what's the square and rectangle thing? I can't fucking remember which one's which, but that's basically how this comes down to. It's a square and rectangle
But
thing.
if you go by that definition, everybody's a realist.
Or some people are optimists.
You can be a realist
Are you
but
an
have a more
optimist?
positive outlook.
Yeah, I'm an optimist, but I don't like ignore a situation.
Okay.
He doesn't just go into everything willy nilly like, oh,
So what-
everything's gonna work out
what-
great. Like he put some thought into it.
Yeah.
What question do you want me to ask so I can find an answer? Because this is just what I'm searching up. What
I think we have the
Yeah, we
answer.
have the answer.
which is
It said pessimists tend to think more negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Realists tend to think more realistically.
okay.
Exactly. That's the only difference.
Okay, then yeah, I'm a realist.
You're both. If you said, okay, you've said to me before, right? Oh, I'm not a pessimist, but I've seen the way the world is, and the world just tends to lean more towards negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're a realist, quote unquote, who tends to view things negative, which means you're a pessimist.
Are you sure I wasn't just talking, John? Because you've given. Oh,
I think the definition of realist is bullshit because that just kind of like describes thought and like
It
Weighing your
literally
options.
does just say that you think.
yes.
Okay, a Reddit post says realism is completely separate from optimism and pessimism. Let's see what this guy has. When someone is labeled a pessimist, they often feel they need to say something along the lines of "I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist,"
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
as if their pessimism is actually just recognizing the truth that the world is shit. It's BS though. Realism is a totally different thing from pessimism. You can be a realist and also be either an optimist or a pessimist. So
Yeah.
okay. You can be a
normal.
realist, but you can also be an optimist or a pessimist. You are no more of a realist than an optimist just because you have a negative outlook. Realism is recognizing facts and situations for what they are. The truth is the world is absolutely neutral. I do believe that. Good things and bad things happen. Our whole world is based on balancing of different forces. Whether you're a pessimist or an optimist has more to do with expectations than recognizing things for what they are. A pessimist expects a bad outcome in any given situation, while an optimist has hope for a good outcome in the same situation. Both can still know that the outcome could be either good or bad. That's realism.
So everybody's a realist?
Yeah.
I guess if that's what y'all
That's
got
what I'm trying
from
to
that.
say.
Yeah.
It's such a broad definition. It literally falls under everybody. Because everybody thinks. Everybody weighs their options.
Okay, so I'm asking you again. Are you a pessimist or a realist?
Pessimist or optimist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My fault. Yeah.
I was gonna say realist.
Yeah, we know, bro. We know.
Pessimist or optimist? I guess I'll have to be an optimist because I do kind of. I mean, I don't always. Like I said, shit happens, so I just run with it. I don't always think I'm gonna fail. That doesn't help me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just generally like a good outlook to have.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm like generally a very optimistic person. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Probably to a fault. I don't know. I kind of, like I said, I try to just make sure that in any situation, I know for a fact I'm going to come out okay.
Like if you want to be successful, you have to be an optimist.
Yeah.
Unless you're like insanely lucky. But
I don't know many doomer millionaires.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, optimist, realist. That's kind of like the space you have to be
Yeah,
in.
because I mean, Bezos was literally like taking care of a bookstore. So like at a certain point, like you just have to,
You work with what you got.
Yeah, you work what you
And
got.
you move forward.
You just gotta fucking do it.
Exactly. I'm definitely more in like the manifesting branch of everything. I believe that if you work towards something, it will come true. Unless you want to do some crazy shit like learn how to fly and jump off a building, learn how to do it or something. I don't know. That's probably not going to work, but I mean, maybe it would. I don't know. I've never tried.
I don't know, man. Life's a very strange thing, but now that we've established the ground rules for that, do you feel like there's like when you guys know about like archetypes and shit like that, like types of people?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember what y'all got in the personality test, like the 16?
It's different every time you take it.
Really?
I think there's a bullshit.
I got a mediator every single time.
I guess I'm different every single time.
Bro's just schizophrenic.
I was gonna say like maybe I feel like not doing this today.
Yeah. Or you have like bipolar disorder or something. I don't know.
I got whichever one like Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man's character was like
How many times have you taken it?
I think 3 or 4 times.
You got the same thing every single time.
Yes.
That's so bullshit.
No, it's not.
No, that's so bullshit.
I promise you, I've taken it like 6 or 7 times. I've gotten the same thing every single
Yeah,
time.
I know he has actually.
That's a stupid quiz. I get something different every single time.
Do you answer
You
differently?
probably answer the questions different.
I always get like the color purple, but they're always like different people every single time.
Well, I mean, that means you're just kind of in the same branch of everything, though. I don't know. I've gotten something different like
They can't read me.
once. Bro's an enigma. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, because every time you take those tests, like you're gonna answer it a little differently every single time.
I mean, kind of. I guess. Like I said, I don't. I've gotten the same thing every single time. I don't know.
Mine's just pretty.
I
consistent.
got
Every
something-
single other person I have talked to has gotten something different every single other time, just like me.
I got
But
something
those tests are
different.
so bullshit.
I
I
got
hate
something
those.
different one time.
My
Sorry.
fucking ex-girlfriend made me take one of those right before I broke up with her. They're such bullshit. They don't do anything.
What's your like category? Like, what are you?
You said
It was the purple
right?
one, and I think I got like the same one as Obama one time.
So you're more like
Like empath or something
like
like that?
leadership type role.
Yeah, one of the traits was leadership.
Oh, the blue is empath. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Purple or green? I don't remember anymore. Maybe I got both, but
My ex was also into like the Myers-Briggs test thing. I don't know if that's just like a woman thing. I don't know.
I mean, women
It
just
is.
like that kind of stuff. They like grouping each other into categories and talking about their categories.
Yeah, like the star signs and everything
Yeah.
too, the astrology stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it be astrology or personality types
Or rocks.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, the BuzzFeed quizzes where it's like, which serial killer would you fall in love with? Like, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
What was your category? I know you said you were like the same as Robert Downey Jr. Do you remember what it was?
It's like INTP, INTJ. It's one of the I ends.
Well, like the actual name of it though, like what
the
it is.
innovator.
Innovator?
Innovator.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I can see that for you. Damn, I wish I knew exactly what yours was. I'm like, damn, yeah. Darren's
I
a
don't know. I'd probably take it and get fucking blue this time. Like I'm saying, I don't know.
well, yeah, Darren's a fadangler or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
You want me to take it right now?
Low key.
It's kind of a long test. You sure?
Is it? Oh, it's like 100 questions, right?
Yeah, it's like 100 questions.
It's not that serious.
Do you want to?
Do you guys want me to? Are we gonna go anywhere with this?
Probably not. I mean,
Okay,
you can't if you
then I'm
want
not gonna
to.
take it.
Yeah, I mean, we can just edit this part out. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think mine is very accurate too. Like mediator, I think that kind of fits my vibe. now.
Mediator to this motherfucker turns devil's advocate.
Yeah, I can say mediator.
Yeah, I don't know. My ex was like dictator
Yeah.
or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
It was red.
Authoritative.
That's all I remember. It
it was
red.
like commander or some shit.
Commander. It was
yeah,
commander.
It was like basically like authoritarian.
personality type as Joseph Stalin.
Oh my god, you're like Hitler. That's a crazy ass thing to say. Like fucking like authoritarian or whatever the fuck the wording is. That's
Yeah.
a crazy ass thing to
People
put as a
would
personality
literally
type.
post shit like that on like you remember when, like the political compass thing was a big thing back in like 2020.
Oh yeah.
People
yeah.
unironically putting like authoritative left on their,
Oh, yeah, I
on
know
their
what
like
you're talking about.
Snapchat
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
stories. Like, oh my god, guys, look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I feel like another reason
I've taken that a couple times too.
is like going out of like the whole women and rocks and astrology thing. I think people like, especially like now more than ever, they want to feel like they belong. And like when you put yourself in a box, you technically belong to that the people in that box.
Yeah, it's a click.
Yeah, that's the word. But I don't know. I feel like that's also part of like the whole optimism and pessimism thing. It's more like perspective on life. Like we as it was like what was it like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You need people. Like people need people. That is a common that's a known thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you really need all of these people? Not like all.
Well, I mean, you should never want to be associated with everyone.
Yeah, and it kind of gets to the point where like you just want to put yourself in as many baskets as possible. Like you're trying to win the fucking like raffle
People
ticket at
who
the
have
state fair.
less friends but are closer with those friends have more positive health outcomes than people with a bunch of friends who have less,
Yeah.
who are like less tied to them.
Yeah. A lot
I
of
believe
people like I think you see that a lot of the times if you ever talk to someone who's the type who has like, you know, like over 100 friends or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
A lot of the times they'll say like, oh yeah, I mean,
They're total bitches too.
what?
Wait, what?
Where were you going with
I
that?
thought you were saying like those people who have like 100 different friends, but
They
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be. Sometimes they're chill,
Yeah.
but sometimes they hang out with bitches, but they don't care.
Well, I was gonna say, as I feel like a lot of the time, like they realize that they're just kind of like there a lot of the time with like their friend groups and everything. Like they, I think I've seen that a lot of the times where they,
They just have friends for the sake of having friends.
yeah, it's like they have like friends for like a specific thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, these are my friends who I go to a movie with.
Drinking
These are my friends who I
friends.
drink with. These are my friends I do drugs with. And then that's it. They don't ever like have any other reason to talk to them.
It's just
stuff
in
other
that
than
social
I thought we were just
box.
talking about like popular kids.
But that's
I mean, that
popular
too,
kids
yeah.
do
Yeah.
have cliques of people that they hang out with for specific things.
Yeah, but y'all were saying that makes like more sense.
Do we? Did we
No,
say that makes more?
I
I
didn't say
don't
that.
think we said that. I
No,
think-
I'm saying what y'all are saying makes more sense. Like having the different friends for different activities.
Oh, you're saying
do.
if you just had 100 friends like a battle royale and you just
Yeah.
like spend time. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I have different friend groups for. I don't know. Like I guess I have like different friend group
Do you have a work
vibes
friend group?
or whatever. Not really, not anymore. But
Oh yeah.
but I don't know. Like I'm usually the type of person who tries to like introduce friends and stuff. Like I usually have different friend groups, but I don't like having different friend groups. I would rather them all be like one big
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
group.
Homogenous friends.
I don't know. Like, is that weird? Like, I like when I introduce a friend to another friend and I see them like hit it off and shit, and I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah, but I've done
I
that
did
before,
shit.
and they like haven't hit it off.
That's always like a weird, like,
Yeah, I know.
awkward feeling.
But if they hit it off, great.
Yeah,
But
it's, but that I don't know. It's just nice, like actually introducing people and like, damn,
I
these
guess
people know each other because of
This
me.
is more of a question for you guys. Like, how many friends are too many friends? Or do you have a limit on like how many friends you feel like you would be comfortable having? Because I know I do. So I'll let you guys go first. 'Cause I know my number.
I would never like limit myself. It's just however I feel comfortable. I don't know.
Like
I don't,
friends.
I don't have like a number. I just have friends. Some of them fall off. Some of them I stay in contact with, and they fall off. Some other people like just meet. We're like really close for a bit. You know.
Then he fall off.
I mean, yeah, sometimes,
Yeah.
but I mean, and I'm not like looking to make friends. I'm not like keeping tally.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like once you start noticing that you have like a lot more people. For me, it's 10. I feel like I could keep track and keep connections with 10 people. But I like having like I told you I don't like having a lot of friends. I'm very against that in the sense of like I'd rather know these people instead of just know people.
I'm also not opposed to like having friends who I don't see for a long time either. Like if I have a friend who I don't talk to for like a year, that's fine. Because then when I see them again, it's like normal. Like,
What's your guys' definition of a friend? Actually, this is a really good question.
Okay, so
Because like you can meet some guy at like school.
you my friend for a year.
God,
Well, I
fucking
mean-
court clip from last night.
so with
Wait, can I finish my thought?
yeah.
You fucking put that court clip in my head. Is that so? For context, we were watching Judge Mathis, and then there's a video on his YouTube channel of him covering a court case between two dudes like around our age, two fellas, and then they're
Nice, Darren.
no, and then this guy was suing his so-called best friend who they've almost known for 1 year.
Who was introduced to him by God?
Dude, introduced to him by God. God
introduced these
put that
people.
guy in his life. But the other guy is like, nah, Satan put this guy in my life. But anyway, this dude is suing him because the other guy hit him with a bag of fried chicken. And that's what he was suing
After
him.
he broke his TV.
After he broke
He
his
broke
TV
his
too.
TV and then assaulted
Yeah.
him with chicken.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to sue him for assault and also like, cost for the TV.
Yeah.
And then the guy who he was suing countersued for defamation of character and like the price of the fucking chicken from KFC.
$9. It was like $2,000.
But then this guy was like, "Oh yes, Judge, this guy's my best friend. I mean, we've known each other for like almost a year. He's my best friend. God put him in my life." I'm like, "You know this guy? You haven't even known this guy for a year. You're gonna call him your best friend?"
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good segue into what I was trying to ask you. What's the definition of a friend to you guys? Because like, I could meet somebody like on campus, and I could see him for like I don't know, a couple days in a row, where I see him like once every week kind of thing, and we say, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And then like we run into each other at the gym, and it's like, "Hey, yo, dude, what's up? How you doing?" Like. I call him a friend because like I don't think it matters.
More okay.
Like they're friendly with me. They're a friend.
Okay, is that
You know what I mean?
are you
Like we're
good?
friendly.
Is that
But like you guys,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are not the same kind of like relationship I have with that dude I see at the gym every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're still friendly, but like you're a different tier of friend.
Yeah, of
but,
course,
But
yeah.
we're all but like you guys are all my friends.
Yeah.
I mean like I wouldn't fucking hide a body for that guy like I would you guys. So
I mean, like, I think about that a lot of the times too. Like, I think about people from back in like middle school or high school, like people who you only ever talk to in like one class, or like you only ever talk to during lunch and stuff like that. And in my head, a lot of the times when I think about people like that, I'm like, oh, that was my friend. Like, oh, that was my friend. Blah 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 blah. Back in the day,
Yeah.
but like I think about it right after, and I'm like, well, I mean, they're more of an acquaintance.
They were like friends. We
Yeah.
knew each other.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like they sat next to me. Like that's kind of it. But
But like, if your mom asked you, "Oh, who's that? Who'd you say hi to?" Be like, "Oh yeah, it's my friend from middle school."
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's what you say.
Yeah,
because that's
Yeah.
the most convenient way of describing you're friendly
yeah,
with
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But for me, the definition has changed a bit because I used to just think like if they were friendly, I didn't have a lot of friends. So I as a young kid, so like if you're friendly,
I just
that's
call
the-
y'all close friends.
No.
Yeah.
I'm bringing up my definition because my definition changed over time. Because at first I was like, yeah, if we're friendly, I used to like consider like the people who I would just talk to at lunchtime my friends, but I also didn't have like a lot of experience. 'Cause I grew up in kind of a sheltered environment, so like if you were talking to me, it meant that I was doing something good. So obviously there was something happening, like there was a connection. But my mom's boyfriend, he kind of like his definition of friend kind of altered my definition of friend because his definition of friend is someone you would hide a body for. And he said everyone else is an associate. If you're not willing to if you're not willing to put this person in your house, if they haven't met your parents, if they haven't like seen you at any point in your life that wasn't manufactured in some out setting, basically they're not your friend. Like if they haven't been to your house, haven't met your parents, if you haven't but if you're cool with them, it's
See,
cool.
for me, that's more of a close friend. A close friend is someone who I would hide a body for, whatever the fuck, you know, all that stuff. I think I could still be friends with someone. Like I'd still go out and hang out with them. I still do this, but I wouldn't hide a body for them.
Well, that's when you
know what I
broke
mean?
into like associate and friend. I guess for him, close friend is friend.
For me, I wouldn't hang out with an associate. Like
You wouldn't hang out with any guys from like the lunch table if they say, "All right, we're going to see the new Marvel movie." At,
like one on one. No,
Oh, 1-on-1. That's
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like someone I'd hang out 1-on-1.
1-on-1.
Even then, if I was invited by a group of like just associates to something like that same category, I wouldn't go unless I had someone who I did consider a friend in that group.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Like there's kind of different. I've thought about this a lot actually. Like I have like different
friend
tiers.
I
Yes.
do. I was about to say. I think about it like a tier list. I
Like,
got
it-
my S tier friends. I got my A tier friends.
it's
I got
probably really
I got
fucked
the,
up
I
to
got,
say,
I got
but yeah.
like the D tier friend. That dude I hate say hello to the gym. Every day.
And then you also got like acquaintances. You've got I'm trying to think. What would be below acquaintances?
The people you just not at. You don't wish harm upon them.
You see them at work.
Yeah. You just.
Hey, what's up?
Wouldn't that be an acquaintance? Or
No, you don't know them.
Coworkers, yeah.
Coworkers, yeah. Just
It's like a forced relationship though. We're talking about like interpersonal.
Yeah, like if you just met a guy on the street and like he picked up like something, like the people who like you dropped your
I don't
wallet.
think it has to be like SABD. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, just like you nod to them, you respect their existence, they respect yours. You keep it moving.
Yeah, I don't know like what specifically makes the person jump from like an acquaintance to
The connections
what I
you
consider
share.
a friend. But I don't know.
The experiences you share together. That's usually what happens.
To a certain point, they just cross that threshold.
Yeah.
Once you like hang out enough.
I think you just have to like enjoy being around the person enough to consider them a
I
friend.
mean,
really.
it's a trust thing, really.
Actually, yeah, you know, I think that's probably what it
it's
is.
a trust thing.
Yeah, I think it's more of a trust thing.
And you have to gain their trust by knowing them longer.
Yeah.
Or they gain your trust.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
knowing them
yeah.
longer. Or just hanging out with. They're spending more time with them.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's how I feel with you guys. Like the more I spend time with people, the more I'm like, okay. But the limit is 10. So once I hit 10,
Why do you limit it?
Yeah.
I don't.
So say like you have 10 friends right now or whatever the fuck. And then
But I don't.
Bro said he's waiting. All right.
I
All right,
don't think
gentlemen.
that's true, but anyway.
All right, gentlemen. No, so like let's say that you had 10 friends.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all
Let's say you had friends.
That's even a lower like entry point.
Let's say anyone wanted to be around you at all, right? Okay. So
Let's say your mom didn't pay us to be here.
Aww.
I have a
You have a story?
Christian. No, that's not where I was gonna go with that.
Okay.
That's not where I was gonna go with that.
Oh yeah, he did get a friend though.
What?
Was it sex or a friend? He got paid.
Well, both.
Okay.
Yes. His parents did pay people to be friends with him. Anyways.
Julie.
Oh, hi, Julie. Anyways, if you had 10 friends and a guy came up and you like really fucked with him or whatever the fuck, would you be friends with that guy if y'all were like really cool? Like at that
If
point,
I just met him,
Or would you kick someone out of the bracket?
that's
If
what I was gonna say.
somebody
Like,
takes your
yeah,
spot?
would you get to a point where you have to kick someone out of the fucking
I have to
group?
kick someone out the bracket. I'll just
Why?
reevaluate. Okay, if I haven't seen this person in X amount of time, but they're still in the friend territory, it's like, well, obviously we're growing apart. Not that I don't fuck with them. It's just like a tear.
But you don't consider them friends anymore?
So what do you? So
associate.
at that
'Cause
point, what do you
life
do with
happened?
them?
Yeah, shit happens. Like I'm not gonna like not like fuck with them. It's just like, okay, would I hide a body for them? If I haven't seen them in 5 years, probably not.
What if these are all people you've seen like in the past month?
I made 10 friends in a month.
No. What,
You have 10 friends.
Yeah, you have
and
10
you've
people
seen
you
them all
talk
at
to.
some point in the last month. But there's an 11th guy who like wants that spot in your top 10. You just make a number 11 spot or like
I ain't making an 11 spot. I'll tell you that much.
why?
Sorry, dude. This is an
Why does
exclusive club.
Why does it have to be so precise?
Because the maximum number of people I can like give emotionally, because I give to
Why is it 10?
Because that's as much as I can give of myself to other
do you know?
people.
If you haven't had 10 friends, how do you know it's 10?
I've had 10 friends. I was just like, I haven't had 10 friends like concurrently. Like,
So yeah, how do you know it's the most you can handle concurrently?
because I know myself. I know what I would be comfortable with, and I could feel comfortable keeping up with 10 people. If any more than 10, because I get drained. I need time to myself. And if I have more than 10 people trying to get my attention,
You don't need to hang out with them all of the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Be
That's why
like
I
it
just
could be
have
like
10.
on the weekend or
I just
something.
have 10.
So do you hang out with 10 of these people every day?
I interact with those 10 people in
Every
some
day?
capacity. Not every day. But at the same time, I'd rather, if I had to choose between other people and those 10, I would just choose those 10. If I had to speak to someone first.
It's crazy how you're just like that fast to drop people.
Yeah.
10 is a good number.
Is it?
It's a good number for me.
10's my favorite number. I'm not going to limit my friend group to my favorite number just because it's
Friends and associates. It's just how you define who's who.
I don't know. Like, I would still hang out with those people. Just like, I'm not going to like up and decide. Like, if I'm close enough to someone where I've actively said, like, to your point, like if that's your definition, if I've gotten to a point where I've said that I would hide a body for this person, then all of a sudden someone else shows up, like, oh no,
Never mind.
yeah, never mind.
You're out, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hang out with you anymore.
sorry, I haven't seen you in a month. Sorry about that. I was on vacation.
Oh man, it's your birthday. I mean, it was my birthday.
What was
last
that
month.
meme about? You
I
have to
guess
join
I
I don't
could
care
go.
that your mom died, you have to join the clan war. It's kind of how that goes.
What?
Oh, the Clash of Clans.
Oh, yeah. What did you think that meant?
I thought you were fucking talking about the KKK or
I
some
did
shit.
too.
No,
This is a fucking clan war.
no. The clash of clan war.
Yeah. Please, for future reference, please.
I immediately knew what he was talking about. You're over here like,
I was like, who the fuck are they declaring war on? What the fuck?
What do you think?
The Black Panthers? I don't know.
Somebody. It's definitely black in the title.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
But it's more of like, maybe it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I feel like right now I feel like I keep track of 10 people pretty well, and that's usually how much I can keep track of. Mm-hmm. And so I would just say 10 people is about as much as I could mentally have a capacity to like keep track of. Sure, people are going to come in and out, but 10 is where like I'm going to give you as the best quality me I can give is at 10. Other than that, I'm pretty deluded. I might disassociate if you're like talking about something.
Hear me out, champ. So
You have different tiers of friends.
like, let's say 5 years from now, I'm not living with y'all no more because I got like my own stuff going on, right? And then
Bye, Darren.
for some reason, we're not doing the podcast anymore. But I'm just like,
Okay.
I don't know. We live with each other for like, that would have been 6 years, right?
Okay.
I don't see you for like 2 years because I'm busy with my own stuff. I got life and all that. I have fucking like, and
You're
all of
a
a sudden,
fucking doctor.
2 years later, I hit you up. I'm like, yo, it's like my firstborn's first birthday. Would you like to come? And then you come and we hit it off again. Like, do you add me back into your top 10? I'm still not in the top 10. We got to like do a little more, or like you don't remember like what's been going on for the
So if you're
other
talking
6
about
years.
the progress built up
Here's
in
what he said. Who are you again?
Jones?
Darbin?
So in that context, if there is history behind, then I guess, okay. So back to what I was saying earlier, there's 10 that I have the mental capacity for, but there are like people I would consider like lifelong friends to where like, it's still
But they're
10.
not in that 10.
You're kind of like, you supersede the 10, but you're fluid with the 10. Like,
Bro's making stuff up at this point. What the fuck?
hey, friendship is how you define it, motherfucker. But
Yeah, we're asking you why it has to be 10.
I'm telling you why it has to be 10. And I will make all the mental gymnastics necessary to keep this number at 10. Thank you. But
And I'm assuming your family's also outside of that 10. This 10 is only for friends.
10 is for friends. They supersede 10. So if you're a lifelong friend, you're basically family.
Oh, so I'm with your family.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you supersede that.
Okay.
Okay.
If I've known you enough to say you've taken a quarter or a part of my life, you're not a fucking friend. The body's already in the back of the trunk. Like, where do we gotta go?
So does that mean at that point, if someone's been like moved up to like that family spot, that also frees up a spot
Yes,
down there in the
that's
friend?
how that works.
So you can have more friends then.
Yes.
You just have to make sure you get close enough with these people so that they get added.
family spot?
No, family's forever.
It's literally like it's the fucking
It's like trying to go through the tiers of reincarnation until you reach Nirvana. Being in Nirvana is just being in Alfonso's fucking family circle. That's crazy.
It's literally the fucking tier of the the cult we covered 3 episodes ago.
Oh, the fucking
Wait, how does this play
the Church of Unity?
The Unification Church. You just do enough to where you've achieved what you can, you go to heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially Nirvana, but yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a way to look at it. I don't know. Like I said, I just have like a more like.
I'm just surprised how rigid it has to be.
Look,
Yeah.
I know I am terrible with keeping up with people. 10 is as far as that's 10 is as many fucks as I can possibly give.
I see. For me, I know I'm bad at keeping up with people, and I just take that into account. I'm just like, yeah, that should have no bearing on who I consider a friend because I know I'm bad at keeping up with people. And
That's the
fine.
same thing. Some people take friendship more seriously. I don't want to put myself in situations where like, I thought what we had was special. And it's like, bro, you weren't even like in the top 10. So it's like, why are you? That's why I just keep it at 10. I got 10 people I will look out for, and then everyone else you move into associate, and we keep it pushing. If you need help, I'll help you. And if someone moves into family or something, if the happens changes, and we start hitting it off really well, then you can move in. But I have to keep. It's more of like, for my own sanity and my clarity, I need to make sure that people that are around me I can trust. And if I have more people just kind of moving in and out, like a person you haven't seen in 2 years, they got into drugs, now they gave you something at a party and it's laced with fent, that is way too much movement for me. The 10 people that I would fuck with concurrently, I know probably would not stab me in the back. And if I do get stabbed in the back from the 10, at that point, I could deduce from the 10 who did it.
Yeah.
But if I have, multiple people coming in and out, I'm like, oh, I love Jimmy.
It could be anybody who wasn't in the 10 who backstabbed you.
that's fine. It's not the 10 I trust, so they're probably going to help me. I have 10 people to rely on in that situation. And if the one of the 10, like, anyways, like Judas table, whatever, it's like, just take the analogy from it. I feel more comfortable knowing.
Oh, so you're trying to feel like Jesus. Then.
Not trying to feel like Jesus. I'm feeling more like myself, but I like knowing that.
I call you guys my 8 apostles.
Oh, yes, John.
But that's just how I do it, because it makes more sense for me, and it does. It's way more freeing to not have to put someone in a friend category and then give yourself this pressure of like actively trying to be their friend now that you've said they're friends. It's more of like, yeah, we're cool, we hit it off, we talk, but if we don't talk for the rest of our lives, there's nothing. It's all love, but there's no hard feelings. It wasn't like we it's like having an open relationship. It's like we never established what we were, so therefore, if nothing ever happens, it doesn't feel like either of us lost anything.
Do you feel pressure to be like a good friend?
I do, because I take that shit seriously. That's why it's 10.
No.
I don't either.
I do, because I treat my friends with.
I mean, if
the
they
utmost
ask me
respect.
for something,
Well, I mean, I was say I just treat my friends well. I don't feel like pressured. Or anything
pressure, or do you feel like okay?
treat them?
I don't feel pressured to go above and beyond to be like involved with their life so much.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I feel pressure
because
to do that.
I know our lives are separate. And
Like, is that what you mean by like pressured to be a good
can you
friend?
define pressure?
Yeah, it's like you have to keep.
Well,
in
no,
touch with
because
them.
you were saying like you don't like having the pressure to feel like you have to like keep up with them or whatever.
appearances of like, oh, this is my friend. Yada yada yada. It's more of like I don't feel pressure. I need to like know everything about them. It's like I don't want to have to force myself to talk to you.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel that way for anyone. I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know. Like I think I could go like a year without talking to y'all, and then nothing would change. Like it would pick up exactly where we left off. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we have to like keep up the same way necessarily. I think usually like with most, not to bring like gender back into it or whatever. I think usually that's what I've seen for most like male relationships.
No, male friendships usually run like that.
it's like the meme.
Yeah.
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 I've seen each other in like 10
The
years.
meme is like men can just befriend anyone and anything.
Yeah, I see people like post like that on like TikTok and Twitter and shit. They're like, I don't understand like my husband's best friend didn't invite him to his wedding and like shit. I'm like, shit like that. I would like definitely say as like a step too far. Like I would probably be offended.
I still get a little peeved when I like see something going on. I'm like, bro, where's the invite?
Yeah,
You know?
like stuff like that I can understand.
Yeah.
Like if y'all did not invite me to like your wedding, I would definitely like
Feel some
Well,
type
then
of way.
I failed you as a friend.
I would take that a certain way if that was the case.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like a definitely like a weird.
It's more
spot.
of like how much. Well, that's the expectation.
Because to a certain extent, I would say yes, there is an expectation. It's just not that like I have an expectation.
You don't
to
have to
be a good friend. You know what I mean? It's just like the stuff that matters is like when I should.
Then
reach
I'll
out
say
for
like
it.
my expectation would be for more of the stuff that matters. I guess it's more of like I don't want you to have this idea that I'm going to go out of my way to do something that I probably wouldn't do unless like I was willing to trust you. Like trust you. And that's why I save that trust for 10 people. So everyone else, we're just cool. Because I can worry about 10 people easily. Can't worry about more than that.
Yeah.
Well, when you say like, do you feel pressured to be a good friend? Like so, I don't feel pressured to like outreach to all of my friends and be like, hey, what's up? It's been a minute. How are you? I don't do that. I mean, like
I've tried that before and it just feels weird.
it's awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like doing that.
It's just a weird conversation starter.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be like, well, I'm still in school,
Yeah.
so I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
I've worked.
Yeah, I work in HVAC,
Yeah.
but and it's like I don't know. I'll help you if you ask for it. I don't need. I like if you had something happen and you needed help, but you never asked me to. Did I fail you as a friend because I didn't help you? Like I didn't know that was going on.
Yeah, they didn't ask.
I didn't know what was going on.
So
So
that's not your fault.
I'm the
Yeah.
type of person I always want my friends to know they can reach out to me and ask for help
Yeah.
if they need to.
I mean, I feel like that should just be an expectation of me. Like
Yeah.
if you ask me for something, like I'm your friend, I would do my best to help you.
Yeah.
Like that's what friendship is.
Yeah.
That's like the level of trust we're on.
So I'm very much like the type of person where like I will do what I can to help my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly, yeah, I think that is probably like the category I would say. If someone reached out to me and they asked for like a very, I guess a high effort piece of like help for something.
like hiding a body.
Well, I'm not even saying that far. Like if someone asked for like a high effort piece of help with something, I would say yes if they're my friend.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like something low effort, I mean, I'll help an acquaintance with that. But if it's something like higher effort, I'll only help a friend with that. That's kind of like
If
where
somebody
I am
who
with
I
that.
didn't consider like on that level with asked me for help, it'd feel weird. I'm like, did you have nobody else to ask?
Like,
You know?
like okay, if someone I considered an
Like if
acquaintance,
my coworker texted me, like, yo, I'm moving out, can you help me? I'm like,
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'd be like, well, there's there no one else you could ask?
yeah,
Why is it me?
actually, I think it's probably the
Yeah.
best actual like categorizer right there. If I would help you move, you're my friend.
Honestly, that's like kind of low effort for me.
Not really.
I mean, if I have nothing else going, I wouldn't
We've moved
mind.
before, do you mean?
Exactly. Like,
I don't know. Actually, I guess it depends. Like, I would help an acquaintance move out if they needed it, because I would help. If the bottom line for me always has been, I will treat others the way I would be treated. If you really are coming to me and you barely know me and you're asking for help on that level, I would really consider that, like, I should probably help, because they probably wouldn't have asked me if they weren't desperate. I feel like I wouldn't ask someone to help me move. I wasn't like, oh shit.
But like, you know what I mean though, where it would feel weird, where it's like,
for me, it wouldn't,
no
just
one
because
else?
I would understand.
no, but you like kind of confirm what I was saying though, where it's like, I know you're desperate if you're asking me.
Yeah, so I would
Like
help.
you already know that it's odd that they're not asking people that would be closer to them, or that you think would be closer to them.
So I would understand they would have no one to turn to, and therefore they're like, I would internalize that as like, okay, this took real strength and courage, because I would have just let that shit slide. Like, because I hate asking for help. So you're asking me for help is like,
I'm not saying I wouldn't help them. I just think it would be odd if they were asking me for help.
I mean, it's a little weird, but I don't know. That's just, when you said low effort, I'm like, to me, that's where, like, I guess I just define where I would still put in my 10, like, I would still put in where I could for most people regardless. So when I say like my 10 friends, like, that's why I go to like extreme, like hiding about. I need to know, like, whatever we're doing is like high value amount of money, family issues. Like, there is some levels, like if this dude was like complaining about his wife or something, I probably would try to like, out of the conversation.
yeah.
But to help a motherfucker move, that doesn't take much besides a car and some gas. You know what I mean?
And a whole day.
I mean, depending.
Physical labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's just,
mean, from my experience, help like moving takes all day, really.
yeah.
Especially if you're moving a lot of shit. It's multiple
And if
trips
you're like a
everything.
big boy adult and take a week,
Yeah.
all the stuff you got.
Yeah. I think this probably sounds bad, but for like an acquaintance, like someone who I don't consider a friend, I might only help them move if I got something out of it.
They're going to pay for their dinner.
If
after
my
you're done.
schedule was clear and like, yeah, I would probably help.
Yeah,
an
if my
acquaintance
schedule is good.
move.
If I'm busy, I can. But like, if I have an opportunity to help, I will help.
Yeah.
But even if it's not them like paying me or something, I would 100% expect when I move, they help me move.
Okay, yeah.
With
That's
a
fair.
friend, I wouldn't necessarily expect them to help me. I would still ask, but I'd be cool if they don't do it. With an acquaintance, if I help you move and then you don't help me move, I want to be pretty pissed off.
Here's the difference between like a friend and an acquaintance to me. If an acquaintance asks me to help them move, if it inconveniences me because of a schedule or whatever, then I won't.
Yeah.
But if it's a friend, I'll let it inconvenience me because like you're my friend.
That's
You know?
actually
That's
good.
kind of where,
yeah.
that's why I fall close with that. Like, I'm not going to break my back for nobody, but like, if I have the chance to help, I've always felt like you should. That's really it. Like, in certain degrees. Like, I'm not saying I'm like Mother Teresa, I'm just giving money to every stranger that asks. But like, if there's a way that I could like physically apply some kind of like the whole teach a man a fist thing. If I can actually help you in some way, enrich your life, and since like labor, moving, something like that, then yeah, I'll do it. I have no problem doing that. But if it's like simply like one-offs and like things that like you don't necessarily need to ask before, like I wouldn't give a coworker $150. Go kiss my ass. I'm not, like I like at that point, it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna get
If
the
I
money
wouldn't
back.
give someone $150, I would not spend all day helping them move.
For me, labor is not that hard for me. Like the idea of like just going out.
I think
like,
your time is valuable though. If you're spending all day doing something,
it does
worth
depend if
more
it's
than
all day or not.
$150.
But like I would have, if I have nothing else to do, I don't mind doing it because I wasn't doing shit at all, anyways. So that's what I'm saying. If it's convenient for me, or like if it's not inconvenient,
I don't think it's ever going to be convenient for you.
You know what I'm saying? If it's not an
inconvenience.
inconvenience, then yeah, I wouldn't mind doing it.
I don't know. I'm not the type of person to like dedicate that much time to someone I don't fuck with on that level. I don't know.
If it's an acquaintance, yeah, I'm like
Because
I don't hate them.
I really try to help people as much as I can, but on that branch, like if I don't, it's kind of rough
It's
to
probably
say.
being stuck with a person for a long period of time. I don't mind being stuck with someone I don't know as well for a long period of
Are you
time.
just afraid of like the awkward side of it, where it's like, what are we going to do?
No,
during
it's just
downtime?
like I don't have a reason. Like it probably sounds bad saying it, if I don't care about this person enough to want to be there for 12 hours.
That's what I'm saying. So you just don't want to be there for an extended period of time. I don't have that same reservation.
Because it's
for
not just
people.
awkwardness. Like with a friend, like just being there and hanging out with my friend while we're moving or whatever, that's enough. Like
that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
But it'll feel more like
it's
a
not
chore.
fun if you're sitting. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm sitting here doing free labor for like what, some pizza at the end, if that. You know what I mean?
The slice in question.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm literally just doing this. I'm helping someone that I barely know. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Like, yeah, I'll help people out if you ask me to, but it has to feel like there's some kind of like respect there. I'm not getting taken advantage of.
No, that's definitely still what that like the thought process comes down to. Like if it's not an inconvenience to me, like I don't. It's just some nuance to it. But like for me, like helping someone move, if you're asking me, I know how much of a bitch moving is. So it's more of like, if I really have nothing else to do, I don't mind.
I'm not gonna lie, John kind of sounded like the pessimist here.
Is it? It's not even like being negative.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm not gonna help you move.
Yeah.
It's not even being a pessimist. It's just saying I don't want to do it.
Oh, I don't like helping others.
I mean, I like helping others. Like that's kind of why I keep my friend circle, like what I consider friends, kind of big, because like those are people I would 100% consider helping and everything. But like the acquaintance circle, I'm just kind of like, no, there's no point. You
They
know
got
what I mean?
someone else for that.
Exactly. Because I'm like, actually, yeah, in my head, I'm kind of like, well, they should have had a bigger friend circle. They could have had other people to ask.
You should have been better. Wow, John, victim blaming in 2024. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Wow, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that our friends are a valuable thing. I do think all relationships of all kinds. Because I've asked strangers for help and they've helped me before. One time I was at fucking Home Depot and like, you know how sometimes those carts are just busted and they just keep rolling regardless?
Yeah.
So I literally just saw this guy right next to me. He just had some like shit in his hand. I was like, hey, would you mind holding this for me real quick? And then like, he's like, yeah. And I walked around like the parking lot for like 2 minutes so I could like find something to like wedge under the thing. And like he held it for like 2 minutes. I really like it was just like those like never met the guy, never seen him again. Just like asked a random person. Could you?
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
What a trooper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like you should be able to ask random people for help with things too. I don't know, because if you can't do that, I feel like it's just kind of like a bad precedent for society. If you can't just like get
Help one another.
Yeah, exactly. Like as part of like a culture, I think everyone should be able to help people out. I don't know.
Not when it comes to moving though.
I mean,
That's what John draws. Like, I'll hold this
okay,
fucking.
if a random dude walked up to you in Home Depot and said, "Hey, bro, can you help me move?"
I'd have to
what?
consider. Yeah.
What?
But I have my
Like,
trunk.
move them out of their house. They're at Home Depot picking up fucking like I don't know dollies and shit to help them move. Like, hey man, I need an extra hand. I don't know. I don't have anyone else to help me move. I was gonna do this on my own.
big arms. You look like.
If they started hyping up your muscles, you're like, oh yeah, I'll help you. Like,
Shit. Okay, actually, I'll raise you this. If an old lady asks you for a move out, would you help her? Regardless, a stranger, old lady.
sure,
Yeah, I would. That's somebody who's vulnerable and probably really does need the help.
yeah, same thing. If someone's like handicapped or something, yeah. I mean, how are they gonna move a bed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are like conditionals, I guess.
Well, I mean, like, how the fuck are they gonna move the bed? You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
their problem.
They gotta have some
That's
kind
their
of help.
problem.
Yeah,
I gotta
like-
piss if I was the only one there helping this old lady move. Like out of all the people, you as me, like only me.
I would definitely call up some friends.
Yeah. If it was only me, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm the type, I try to become friends with that lady. What?
Oh, you would like
You become friends with the lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, what did you type? I heard type, and I didn't.
Oh,
process.
no. Yeah, it's like, it was like some random like 70-year-old lady or something, and she was like moving out, and I don't know. It's like, she was like, I don't know, she didn't have anyone else or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll be friends with her. Fuck it. Like, go and like, I don't know, go see movies with her or whatever. I don't know.
Going on a movie day is crazy.
That brings up.
I mean, yeah, it's just my friend now. I'll play fucking checkers with her.
That
I'll
reminds me of
fucking-
the thing I was talking about earlier with one of my clients. Like I fuck with her like a lot. She taught special ed. My mom teaches special ed. So shout out to teachers because shit is really bad for teachers right now. Like she's retired and she's still helping, but like she's helping with like extreme case on how to write to like parents and lawyers and shit. Like okay, this is going on. Like kids wanted to fight my mom, bro. Like shit's like.
That's actually a growing thing I see on like Twitter.
But I actually, she's been in the school system for like 30 plus years since like the 90s. I want to say it's been this bad since the 2000s. and it's only ever gotten worse. I was like, no, it's only gotten recent, like the 2000s. She's like, no, this like, she basically like broke it down to like, there's the Kardashians, there's like people like social media, things that influence the culture. She's like, our culture has been breaking down, and that shows up first at home, and then when home gets legs, it goes to school. So basically, it's like our culture has been degrading, and that the degradation starts in the home, and then those children go to the school.
There's a
and then teachers have to deal with that. Yeah,
who's like one of my patients at the pharmacy job, and my other coworkers know him because they actually grew up in this area.
Oh, and, they knew him as their principal.
Yes.
Okay.
So then they're like, oh yeah, like what's up, bro? Like how's the school year going so far? And it was like literally like the first or second week of school. He goes like, fucking terrible. He just like swears right there. Like, dude, it's fucking awful. I had to suspend 4 kids last week. Like first week of school.
Yeah, like it's bad. It's really bad.
He was like, he gave one example. He was like, yeah, there's one kid prank called me. He prank called me during school hours, and then I asked him who he was, and he gave me his name.
What?
That's a child. That is an actual child.
He's a middle school principal.
Yeah. Oh, she actually said that specifically. Middle school, and she was like, middle school girls are the worst. And I could attest to that, because I'm in middle school. Those girls are awful. But like, yeah, she said middle school is actual hell on earth, because if you didn't correct the behavioral issues in elementary school, which I feel like it's probably fair to say that most parents, especially in like elementary school, they are like ride or dies for their little kids, so they probably wouldn't let you correct them if they're like 5 or 6. They take that same I'm untouchable energy. Now they're going through like puberty. There's a lot more emotions going on, but they're like getting older, and they still think they're that same child earlier. Because in high school, you can get charged as an adult. Like, do y'all hear about the school shooting that happened today?
Yeah.
No.
It's a 4-year-old. They're trying to charge him as an adult. He killed 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids.
Makes sense.
Did y'all see those 2 kids in Vegas last year who did the TikTok steal a car hit and run challenge? Is what they called like their video. And that's what they did. They stole a car, they hit and run some cars, put it on TikTok, and then the last clip they posted was them running over a retired police officer.
They murdered somebody.
Yes. He was biking in the bike lane, or like on the side of the road or something like that. And they were like, yo, bro, hit him. Bro, hit him right now. And they just fucking run him over.
These are actual sociopaths.
They're fucking crazy. And then they were in court. And then
did it for the
allegedly
vine, bro.
they said to some journalists, like, I mean, we're not too pressed about it. We're not gonna get charged as adults or anything.
And then they got charged as
adults.
Yeah. I've heard stories about like 8-year-olds getting charged as adults too.
What was the severity of that crime?
It was murder.
Even as an 8-year-old? I don't know.
It was like serial murder.
He killed multiple people?
With what? How?
He like killed like his whole family or something.
That boy needs to get fucking psychologically evaluated.
Yeah.
Don't try him as an adult. It's a child.
I mean, what was his sentencing though?
I think it was like 15 years
in prison or psychiatric ward.
I don't know, but I know he was charged as an adult, like 100%.
Okay.
Like
I hope they sent him to the fucking psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because 8 is like, at that point, there's like, the parents could have dropped that motherfucker and then just knocked the screw loose or some shit. So I'm not defending.
He's 8 years old. I mean, I don't know if it's likely or not, but there's a chance of saving him.
Yeah.
He's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 8. That's not even like, what the fuck was I doing at 8? I wasn't doing shit at 8.
I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like watching Ninjago or something.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I like 8. Yeah, no, I still think there is. Now, sociopathy does show in early signs of children. It does usually pop up around like 8 or something. So it could just be on the verge of something. But like, I don't know. Trying an 8-year-old as an adult is fucking wild to me.
Well, I mean, you can't just like let them go.
No, you put them in like juvie or fucking put them in like a correct.
Juvie's not going to do
a mental
correctional facility.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
I said juvie's for people who like go and like do graffiti or something. It's not for murdering your entire.
It's for like petty crimes, like show kids.
Like scared straight?
Scared them straight.
Yeah, anytime you do like an actual like felony crime, most of the time they will try you as an adult.
I mean, yeah.
Very, very rarely will they.
You can get felonies taken off your record, right?
Yeah.
If you like appeal it.
Yeah, it depends on how it is.
Okay.
But it has to be something that you have to like actively appeal and like search for that to happen.
Oh, but back to the whole middle school thing. Yeah, middle school girls are the worst. But she was talking about the R word. Everyone knows what the R word is. Everyone's heard it in school. But what she said to me about it was like really insightful in a way that like I've never like truly thought about, because she taught special ed and she would hear like like gifted students, like people with like intelligence, like higher, like above average intelligence for their age group, like talk down to people with special needs. And she's like, I would get on them. I would be like so upset with them because like
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
she was like, in the sense she was like, they don't realize they're like one car crash away, just one accident. Because she's talked to these parents. She's actually worked in like the higher part of like education, like the board of education, like that. She's like, when you really talk to these parents, it's like eye opening. Like these parents, like these mothers can do everything right, be healthy, eat all this stuff, and then shit can just happen. There's no fault on anybody. That is just how they were born. And to like take that and like throw that word against them as like that, like they're less than you, like they're trash. There was nothing that could have been done. And you're like holding them to like a lower standard. Like they did that.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I used to call out people in elementary school and middle school for doing that. Because it's like a fun fact about me. My mom, when I was a kid, was a nurse for special needs people. Like she would go to their homes, be like a home care nurse.
Oh.
And she would help like special needs adults specifically while their families were like working or doing whatever. And then like, my mom can't just leave me at home, so I'd come to work with her. So I would literally just chill at their house. You guys are like unlocking memories for me. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This was like actually a big part of my childhood now that I think about it.
I didn't know that. That's
I don't-
crazy.
I've never talked about it. I don't know why. I think I've just repressed it. Not that it like bothered me or anything.
so you don't
I
think
just-
about it.
Yeah, I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
But like, I think I was in. This would have to have been kindergarten to second grade. This was like me going to people's houses during the summer when school wasn't in session, and I would Yeah, it was definitely kindergarten through K through 2, and then I would like watch my mom taking care of these like grown ass adults who can't speak, they can't feed themselves. My mom would like hook up feeding tubes and IVs to them, and then they had like these like super complex crane systems in their house.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Yeah, that would
those.
like lift them and everything. And sometimes they didn't. My mom would just have to like break her back carrying these people. And then like I remember like in elementary school and middle school, I would hear like classmates like pointing at the special ed kids in the hallway and laughing. And then sometimes I would just say something like, "That's not funny," or just be like, "Dude, just stop."
Yeah.
I once like cried over it in elementary school.
You got what?
Like I cried over like people bullying special needs kid.
I don't understand.
And like I nobody knew why I was crying, and then the teacher pulled me over to the side and like asked me what was wrong, and then I told her what was going on, and then those two kids were sent to the principal's office. And then I did it up until middle school. I would just be like, I don't know, I wasn't like super aggressive with it. Like I remember at some point there were these two kids and they were like, "Oh dude, look at that thing over there!" Like they pointed at it, and I'm just like, "That's not funny." Like with a straight face, I'm like, "That's not funny, dude." And then they just like lost all their like steam from that, and they were like,
That's
"Oh,
honestly the best way to handle that.
yeah." And then like, I don't know. I'm not gonna name names, but I don't know. Like end of middle school, high school, I got like a different group of friends, and like all of a sudden it wasn't cool to like say stuff like that. Like that was around 2016 when everybody was like saying the R word and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what changed, but
I think like culturally that just kind of shifted around that time.
yeah.
I've never understood the appeal of like making like less fortunate people
Just
the
kick
butt of a
someone
joke.
down. That's
You're
just
kicking
so
people
easy.
who can't defend themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like it's at a certain point like doing something that's easy is just cruel. It's like
Like what's even the appeal of that?
yeah,
Like if
I'll give that.
if you're gonna make fun of someone, like why would it not be someone who's like actually done something wrong? You know what I mean? Like that makes more
they're
sense.
just existing.
Yeah. Like talking about Diddy parties or whatever. That's funny.
That was,
You know what I mean? That's funny. But I mean, like, I don't know. Like people who literally, like you said, they can't feed themselves, they can't eat, they can't do like anything, and it's
Well, because I see what they turn into when they get older, and I'll be like, that's so sad. You
yeah.
know?
And that
even at a young
literally-
age, like they
literally
that's
is
their
something
born.
And
that
it
they had
honestly,
no
it
control
honestly
over.
always made me happy when I saw them in the hallway with their instructors, and like they had each other too, like
Yeah.
in high school and everything. It was thought it was like really wholesome.
This is gonna sound like kind of weird.
Go for it.
Part of me, like when I see someone with special needs or whatever, and I see them like, I don't know, like, in a relationship or like doing something else. Sometimes like there's like a part of me that's always like, oh, that's cute.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like I think part of that is like my brain, like almost forgetting that like it's like that's like a grown ass adult.
Wait, so
You know
what
what
do you
I
mean by
mean?
relationship? Because now I'm
Like
a little
in my
lost.
brain, I'm kind of like, oh, they have the mental capacity of a child. So like in my brain, like processes like, oh, let's treat them like a child. But that's a grown ass adult. You know what I mean? Like just because they have a special need doesn't mean you need to like talk down to them a lot of the time either.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between talking
There's a bit
down
of
to
nuance
somebody
to it and, like,
and
trying-
talking to them in
Yeah.
a way they understand.
Yeah, that's all.
Because you do have to talk
Differently,
simpler.
yeah.
Yeah,
like you
and-
are
and
talking to a
I
kid.
understand that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know that. But like at the same time, you'll have people.
But there's a difference when you're condescending about it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
You know?
yeah.
Do you want me to find your mom? Or like, hey, are you looking
that's
for your mom?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a video going around a little bit ago. It was like what was it? It was basically I don't know like the term for it. It was like a commercial that was about Down syndrome. Like it was literally just about Down syndrome.
Like awareness or something?
Yeah. So it was like an awareness ad basically.
Okay.
So it was about Down syndrome awareness, and like the spokesperson on the ad was someone who had Down syndrome, and essentially in the ad, she was basically talking about things that she can't do, like stuff like she can't order a margarita, she can't like do boxing, she can't like be like a Broadway singer, like shit like that. But it was saying like the whole point of the ad was that like no, I can do that. These are things different people have told me I can't do because I have
Oh,
Down
I've seen
syndrome.
that. I've seen that, yeah.
Actually, I really like that ad. That made me like really fucking happy when I first saw it. Like I know stuff like that, like Down syndrome especially like has like a very broad range of like severity, like that autism. Like-
No, Down syndrome isn't broad. There's specific characteristics people have with Down syndrome, and they all fit into this.
It's because
But-
the chromosome, right? It's like
Yeah,
that's what.
it's a genetic.
Some
uniformity.
people with Down syndrome are way more like capable than others.
But I think a big part of that also is how they're brought up. Like I think they have really good parents who challenge them.
Yes, no, the parents, that's what I'm talking about back to education.
Like
I
I don't
can see
think
that.
I don't think it's tied to Down syndrome.
It's
I don't
your
think, I don't
parents-
think it's like high functioning autism, low functioning Down syndrome, shit like that. You know, I think in
Because
those
I
situations,
know autism for sure
I-
does have like higher ranges.
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah, that's true. But with Down syndrome, I think what you're talking about, I don't think that's tied to the
It's more of how much the parents want to put into their child.
like I think I'm confident like that situation is more on the parents, like how they push their kids.
Because like see for me,
Because it's like that ad. They're saying, "Oh, I can't do this."
for me growing up, I've always been told that people with Down syndrome just kind of like have the mental capacity of a 6-year-old. And that's just like kind of how it is.
Maybe by default, but like how he said earlier, if you stay with your child and you actually, raise them. I mean, because
I mean, a 6-year-old child can do gymnastics.
yeah, no, I'm saying like
can-
like he's saying
They can
like
wrestle.
yeah, I'm saying like you raise them, so like yeah, maybe they start out with that capacity, but it's like there's ways of expanding that. It's not just like that's it forever.
Yeah.
So it really, because back to the whole teacher thing, like parents do fuck their kids over more than like the education system, yada yada. But like the beginning, especially now, when
After going through the public education system, if you come out of that shit a mess, 100%, like you had something going on in the household.
most definitely, most definitely.
That's like that. Usually, teachers will testify to that. They're like, yeah, I know these kids don't do well because it's something about the household.
Yeah, because imagine my mom has so much paperwork of like her sitting parents, like your kid's not doing this, your kid's not doing that, and when the parents come back to bitch, moan, and sue,
I fucking hate that stuff, dude.
when they sue, I was like, no, I have all the records right here. Like your child, I sent you email after email. Hey, they didn't turn in this assignment. They didn't. So the fact that they're failing my class with a 12, that is completely your fault. And the parents are, oh, I didn't know about this or that. So it's like, okay, so how the fuck am I supposed to? If you don't check your goddamn emails, how the fuck am I supposed to communicate with you? If you
They
don't listen
still
to me,
do the advising, right? Like every, what was it, 2 or 3 months? They
Some
invite
parents just-
parents.
Yeah,
just-
some parents don't show up though.
yeah, it's optional to show up, and two, they're just like they only come there to complain and try to sue you. So it's not like they're really listening and engaging with you. They're more of just like, okay, I have my my money baby, because you get checks and stuff for like disability and stuff like that. I have my little cash cow. How can I like some parents will literally try to game the system and make their child more disabled because you have to do a test to prove like how much you need. I think it's like your child takes like I don't want to call it like IQ test, but it's somewhere in that to where like they figure out like, okay, how bad is the disability? How much do we need to help send money to support you? And a parent had a special needs child, tried to sue one of my clients who I was talking to. They redid the test to figure out if that's possible. The kid came out as normal. That mom was so fucking pissed because she was making all this money off her kid. Mm-hmm. Took the test again, motherfucker was normal. Lost all that. But she was even angrier. I'm like, what the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, going back to that early episode, maybe you're right. Some people shouldn't have kids, or there should be some safeguards in place, or some kind of education, because these people.
Oh my god, that was like what, episode 6?
Yeah. Big callback, but like, god damn, man. If anyone takes anything from the message of today's episode, we're not fucked. We're not cooked. None of that doomer shit.
Yeah.
We stopped holding each other accountable when loud people started acting right. Because she also brought up another thing. It's like, what happened to like actual civil discourse? You guys disagree with me all the time, and none of us want to fucking slit each other's throats. None of us ever shout. John.
First I'm hearing about this.
But that's my whole point. A lot of older adults have realized our generation and like somewhat millennials don't like to have discussions anymore. That whole like no child left behind, the fucking consolation prize is turned like you're not a loser if you're loud, or like that mentality, like you can't lose it. There is no middle ground with people anymore. Like if there's all or nothing, you can't lose. And if you're not with me, you're against me. And that has like silenced a lot of like moderate voices and a lot of reasoning and a lot of like, okay.
I don't think it's silenced
Not
reasonable
silence.
voices. I think it just made stupid people louder.
I mean, if it's louder, you drown out the
Well, 'cause
rest.
they've been told that their opinion is just as correct as like other people's.
Yeah, exactly. It makes
Yeah,
stupid
or that-
people
so
louder.
it's louder, so you basically are silencing because the noise is too much. Like the disparity between
But you
the
don't
people.
silence them because those people still
I wouldn't say
exist.
silence is a good word, but you're definitely
You're drowning
like,
them out.
Drowning them out. Yeah. And that's kind of what it's come to. And I do agree with that. And you literally, children are like the fucking canaries of a coal mine of a society. It's just not looking so good right now. And we, as a culture, need to hold each other more accountable. And I'm tired of like, because that's really, I don't mind holding people accountable, but I'm tired of people trying to make excuses for it. Because when people hold me accountable, I'm like, yeah, you know what, right, I didn't do that. You know what, I said I was going to do this and I didn't do that. You're right, I did fuck that up. I did, and I can't, I don't excuse it, I did do it. I will try to do better and I'm going to make changes towards it. That's all I can do. And if I fuck up and fail again, I always get back up. That's it. There's nothing else you can really hold someone to. You can't hold them to be perfect, but you can hold them to make decent choices and changes in their life. You can hold them to improve. You can't hold them to perfection, but you can hold them to improve. I dare motherfuckers say you can't hold someone to improve. I don't care about perfection. I care about improvement.
Yeah.
0 to 1 is still movement. That's all I gotta say.
Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No.
That shit was introspective. God
That shit
damn.
was optimistic.
Oh God.
Say that. Everyone, whether you're a pessimist, whether you're an optimist.
Or somewhere in between.
Whether you're an optimist
Okay. Sorry. Whether you're a
or a fence
pessimist
sitter.
or a fence sitter, or an Alfonso, apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I got my own. I got my
Fence
own.
sitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless.
Where are you going with that?
The answer is yes. Except for murder.
I wasn't gonna finish your sentence for you, bro.
Oh, my fault.
Anyway, shout out to Sellraise, the easiest way to make money online. You can find them on the App Store at Sellraise or the website sellraze.com. That's sellraise.com. You basically take a picture of the product you want to sell, and their AI comes up with a listing, price, all that for you, and then it'll automatically upload to your retailing apps and websites like Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Mercari, some probably
the
other
goods.
stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it tracks your inventory, and it's really neat, and it's free, so you might as well go try it out.
Yeah.
At Sellraise. Shout out to the boys at Sellraise.
Yeah.
And then don't forget, check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you listen to your podcast. And now YouTube. And we also got clips going up on TikTok at scat.clips and our Instagram, scat.cast. And please leave us a review. Remember, new episodes go up every Wednesday.
5 a.m.
5
Every
a.m.
single week.
Every
single week.
Wednesday.
You can't avoid us. We're there. We're in your walls.
Yeah.
This is a half a year. By the way, guys, we're at what, episode 28? We're over half a year of Scat Cast. How y'all feeling? This is
Oh, yeah.
over half a year now.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
half a year in 2 weeks. Or 2 episodes.
Damn. I don't know. I feel old.
Scat.
How old is that in like dog years?
Uh,
We just say like scat years. Like there's like human years and scat years.
I mean, we can.
I feel
Language.
like
talking
I
about?
feel like I've been doing this for like 5 years at this point. I don't know.
Because, like, it was really funny, little side tangent before we end it. Like, language is basically decided off the people. There's no such thing as like a real word and a fake word. It's all just what's agreed on by people.
Yeah.
Okay.
John has all the right to do.
Yes, we made up language. You're right.
Yes, exactly. So yes,
that's how
scat
words
time
work.
works. Yeah. So yeah, 5 scat years sounds about right to me, John.
Not me.
Yay.
Anyway, have a good week.
Yeah.
See you.